Hey guys, it's Jill. Jen and I wanted to give you a heads up about the content on today's episode. It may be triggering for more sensitive audiences. Refer to the show notes for more specifics. And take care while you listen.
On this episode of Common Mystics, the murder of a businessman and prominent community leader leads us to surprising revelations. I'm Jennifer James.
I'm Jill Stanley.
We're psychics.
We're sisters.
We are Common Mystics. We find extraordinary stories in ordinary places. And today's story takes us to Sweetwater, Tennessee.
That's right, Jennifer. And this is like one of our last stories from our Chattanooga trip when our niece got married. So we left a hotel and we set our intention. Can you remind everyone what our intention is?
Why, Jill, I would love to.
Thank you so much.
Our intention was, as it always is, to ask the spirits to lead us to a verifiable story previously unknown to us that allows us to give voice to the voiceless spirits, Jill.
That's correct, Jennifer. And we start heading northeast and we're drawn towards a town called Sweetwater, Tennessee, not because we're fatzos.
Sweetwater. I love that name.
Do you?
Yes. It gives me the warm fuzzies.
It is inviting.
It is so inviting. Everybody likes Sweetwater.
Who doesn't like Sweetwater?
I don't know. It's better than fetid water or rotten or spoiled water, right? Sweetwater. You're going to go there all the time.
There's a town in Michigan called White Pigeon, and I just feel like that's not a good name for a town.
White pigeon. That's a dove. A white pigeon is literally a dove. Why isn't it called Dove? I know.
Exactly.
I think we need to email someone over there.
So, Jennifer.
Yes, Jill.
We're drawn to Sweetwater, not because we're fatzos.
Well,
and what were the hits we were getting in the car?
I was picking up on soldiers walking through the area. It was almost like I could see and feel them.
Ooh. What else were you picking up on?
Mining. Like pulling shit out of the ground. Mining.
All right. I think.
Do you remember stopping at that attraction?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Lost at Sea underground mining attraction. It was like a little baby town, and then it had you go into a cavern below, and there's a sea where you can go for a boat ride.
Okay, I know it was called Lost at Sea, but it wasn't truly a sea. It was more like an underground pond or lake.
Cavern?
Yeah, we said no. We didn't have really time to explore it.
This is day 50 of this road trip. So I was so tired at this point. I didn't want to do anything.
No. And personally, I don't know how you feel about it, but I am not a fan of caves.
I'm not either.
Yeah, caves make me feel claustrophobic. I don't want to be underground. The whole mining thing scares the hell out of me.
Animals live in caves. That's what I'm afraid of.
Yes.
I'm not fucking around.
True. Like bats, animals that people don't want to interact with, generally speaking.
And they don't want to interact with us.
No. Right. Hence the caves. Yes, exactly.
So I'm not down with caves.
But also cave-ins, that's a thing.
That's scary. That's scary.
That's scary.
I'm not on board for that.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Especially
so we said no. Especially
there's because if you make a loud noise, is this fiction? Did I see this in a cartoon? When you make a loud noise in a cave, it can make a collapse.
I saw the same cartoon, and I believe that's fact. Everything else that I learned from life, I learned from Saturday morning cartoons.
Well, I will tell you, I would have to beat up every loud child if we went in that cave. I would be like, shut up, you know what you're doing. But I would say it really quietly.
Yeah, it was
kill us all.
It was kind of a kid's attraction. So we said no to the cave and the underground lake situation. It looked lovely.
Yes, it looked lovely. Yes. But I was feeling, when you were saying taking stuff out of the ground, I was feeling mining for ingredients to gunpowder. And I don't even know if that was a thing. Do they do that? I don't know.
I don't know. And frankly, Jill, since you did this outline, I would have expected you to look into this.
Nope.
I do think that gunpowder is made from like powder explosive rock that comes from the ground, right? Like,
go with it.
All right.
Lean into it. Just say it confidently, and then we'll just keep going.
Okay. Super prepared today. Yes. Tell me more. What else were you picking up on?
I was getting the feeling of a white man is taking advantage of the natives for the gain of their property, almost like trickery. Like they were trying to trick someone out of funds, trick someone out of, you know how the natives and the white men would trade, and then they were like, here's a pocket. You know what I mean? And the natives would be like, oh, a pocket.
A pocket.
A pocket.
A pocket.
You know, pockets weren't sewn into clothes back in the day.
Oh, so it was like a thing?
Yeah, it was like a sling. You didn't know that? That's how you can lose your pocket.
Okay.
You didn't know that?
No. I think you're making that up, kind of.
No,
like the whole gunpowder thing. Yeah. This is the theme
I swear to God.
of today's episode. Jill's not prepared, and she's just...
I swear to God. What's that nursery rhyme? So-and-so loses her pocket. That's how she loses her pocket, because it's just like something that you like tie on underneath your clothes.
Yeah, you made that up too. There's no nursery rhyme about someone losing their pocket.
You guys email us because I know I'm right.
Back.
I am so right now. Someone reach out to me.
A pocket? Yeah, no.
Shame my sister.
I was feeling like I had been shot in the chest. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
Yes.
Very dramatic.
They're so dramatic. I'm dramatic.
So dramatic, like a dramatic actress.
Tell me more.
Like I felt like I was watching you get shot.
Never getting through this story. I don't know what's. I have not been drinking.
I'm sober.
Okay.
Mean. I love how you're making yourself laugh.
Fair.
I like how you're making yourself laugh right now. All right. Well, after this episode, okay. The smell of a fire or burning trash, distinct nastiness smell. And the reason why I know that, because my neighbors still burn their trash.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we were having a conversation in the car about the Bible and about how some people want to take pieces of the Bible and like pick and choose what parts they want to believe in. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but not all Bible lovers.
Not all. No,
not all. Not. There's some people that are really like strict when it comes to the Bible.
And I can respect that.
If you're going to believe in something, believe in it, you know?
True. And be consistent. That's my thing. Like, don't take the parts that you like and say, oh, it's in the Bible, and then ignore the parts that you don't like. Like, that's not consistent.
That's true. And my whole thing in life, I'm always like, the best indicator if someone's shady is inconsistent behavior. So if girl, PSA, inconsistencies. Okay. And the last thing I was picking up on that I noted for this episode was a feeling of veterans of the War of 1812, very specific. I was like, the veterans of the War of 1812 are disappointed. They'd be angry.
That was very specific.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that will all make sense at the end.
It always does, kind of.
Does it? I'm not sure.
That's what I aim for that. But, we're not making any promises here.
Never. Okay. So Sweetwater, delicious name. Charming town.
So charming.
It has a rich history, Jill, that dates back to the early 19th century.
Tell me more.
Located in Monroe County, Sweetwater, Tennessee, was officially established in the mid-1800s and grew as a result of its strategic location along the East Tennessee and Georgia Railroad.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Whenever something grows up on the railroad, it's like, I almost feel like, what am I trying to say? Like it's a prospector. Like some prospector was like, oh, this town is going to be big, and like 99% of the time it's like a wah-wah. It's not.
You sounded like, we need to get a monorail.
Exactly. Anyway, so yeah, tiny little town, and the railroad for a time played a significant role in its development. Of course it did, making it a hub for commerce.
Tell me about the town's delicious name.
The town's name, Sweetwater, people believe that it was inspired by the abundance of fresh, clean water in the area.
Okay.
And you know what? Back in the day, that would have been a vitally important resource. You know what I'm saying?
I do like the name Sweetwater. There's a donut mill called Sweetwater Donuts.
Great. Thank you.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you never had Sweetwater Donuts? Is there not a Sweetwater Donuts by you?
That does not exist where I live. I've never heard of Sweetwater Donuts.
They're everywhere here. And
really?
Delicious. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't need to know that. Sweetwater is also the name settlers gave to the creek that flows alongside the city. That makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense. So, Jennifer.
Yes, Jill.
Take me to the incident.
I'll take you there. Okay. This comes from the Knoxville Daily Tribune, Sunday, January 8th, 1882. And Jill?
Yes, I am raising my hand because I want to just tell our listeners that a lot of this comes from old-timey newspaper. So there's going to be old-timey newspaper speak that we may have to clarify for you from our understanding of the old-timey newspaper.
Okay, so in Sweetwater, Tennessee, January 1882, there was a shocking event that took place. One of the biggest and most tragic events in East Tennessee's history. A crime that would leave the entire community reeling. Okay, here's what happened. Former Mayor Thomas G. Boyd was just before noon at his sister-in-law's house when he was fatally shot by his own nephew, Joseph Boyd, in a heated confrontation that turned deadly. Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, dun.
Jill, I think you're going to have to Jill-splain the argument and how this went down.
Well, I want you to read it first. Don't you think?
No, because it really doesn't make sense the way it's written, and I think it's going to be more confusing. So really, we went over this beforehand. Jill-splain. Yeah.
So
you're on.
This is the thing. So Thomas Boyd had a lot of brothers, okay? One of them was Albin Boyd. And Albin Boyd just passed away suddenly of an illness just a couple days before. So Albin Boyd was the house that they were at. It was his house that they were at. And the widow's there. And so Joseph is the son of Thomas's brother Joseph, so this is another brother that's still alive. But the two of them, Thomas and Joseph, have business dealings together. But Albion had business dealings with Joseph as well in a company that they owned in Columbus, Georgia. Right. So baby Joseph Jr. comes to the house of Albion, who's died, whose aunt's house, and Thomas is there, okay? And Thomas is all like, I have a check from Albion to me that I'm going to cash in the sum of $700, which is like $22,000 in today's money. What,
right. Well, he actually tried to cash it, but the bank wouldn't cash it.
I'm getting there.
Continue.
So he had the check, and the reason why he still had the check and it wasn't cash because the bank wouldn't cash it. They thought it was sus. They were like, dude's dead. We're not cashing this check for you. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good on the bank, by the way.
Yeah,
that's way ahead of their time.
True. Mm-hmm. So Joseph Jr. is like, that money belongs to my father and their business dealings in Georgia. That's not your money. Mm-hmm. I don't care what the check says. Give me the check. And Thomas is like, I'm not giving you the check. And he's like, why are you like making it seem like I'm a scoundrel, like I'm a crook? And that's when Joseph shot his uncle.
Yeah. In the heat of the argument, Thomas reportedly exclaimed, "Do you mean to insinuate that I would swindle my own brother?" And he raised from his chair and he either moved to adjust it, adjust his chair, some claim, or to hit Joseph, his nephew. And in an instant, Joseph, who was still seated, drew a pistol and fired a single shot. Ooh, and the bullet struck Thomas right near the heart, killing him instantly before he even hit the ground. Yeah.
What did Joseph
that's
do?
Pretty dramatic. Okay, so after the shooting, Joseph calmly walked just a few blocks down to his mother's house, okay? And shortly thereafter, surrendered himself to the authorities. You know his mama was like, Joseph, you got to do this, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I'm
100%.
sure his mom had something to do with that.
And I'm sure she's like, it's self-defense. He was going to hit you with a chair, convinced him.
So while the argument was over a bank check, there were deeper tensions simmering below the surface, obviously, because you don't just shoot someone in the chest over
$22,000.
All right, maybe.
I'd shoot for less.
That's a lot of money. Just before the incident, Thomas had been involved in a lawsuit against Joseph's brother, which resulted in the loss of the Winfield family property. And this legal battle had fueled a lot of resentment, turning into a huge disagreement that led to this fatal encounter. So
there's always more. Yeah. The tragedy not only claimed a life, but also fractured a family, leaving Sweetwater to grapple with the weight of the devastating event. It's well written. It's really well written.
Oh, is it? Okay. So there's a lot here to unpack, Jill.
There is a lot here to unpack, Jennifer. Let's unpack it.
Okay.
Why would Thomas be all like, why are you calling me a swindler?
I know. He seems awfully defensive. Because
really?
In my opinion, the nephew, Joseph, give me the check. The check's no good. You tried to cash the check. The check can't be cashed. Why do you want to hold on to this check? That's sus. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Also, why did Joseph shoot him if he thought he was going to get hit with a chair? I
think he was going to get hit. He thought he was going to get hit. I don't know if he thought he was going to get hit with the chair. Possibly.
Well, why would they make mention of him adjusting his chair in the heat of an argument if he wasn't going to pick it up and hit his ass with it? But even so, shooting him in the chest to kill is a pretty...
Especially
that's not a knee jerk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Especially because Joseph is his nephew, so he's quite a bit younger.
Mm-hmm.
He totally could have taken him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but you pull out your gun and you shoot your uncle in the heart. Wow. Yeah. So there's some lingering feelings. He was feeling some kind of way.
Yeah, he was feeling some kind of way. Who was Thomas and how did he end up here dying at the hands of his nephew?
That's what I'm wondering. Who is this dude? What? What's going on? There's a backstory,
also,
right?
There has to be a backstory. Also, you don't just jump to Swindler. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I'd be like, what's your problem, dude? The check's made out to me. Calm down. Slow your roll. It's still my property. I'll work it out with the bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I would have been. I wouldn't be like, are you calling me a swindler? I'd be shaking my hand and rubbing my mustache.
Rubbing your mustache, twirling your mustache with that wax, that mustache wax.
That mustachery.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it.
Thomas G. Boyd?
Let's get into it. Thomas G. Boyd was born in 1840 to a Tennessee farmer. So humble beginnings for the Boyds. But Thomas grew up to be a wealthy, very well-liked, prominent figure in the town of Sweetwater. He was bright, he was affable, and he was cordial in all manners. So super polite, super likable. Everybody liked him. He was generous to a fault, they say, and a notable man of business and the church. He was married, and he had 4 children.
These all things that they say when someone's dead? You know what I mean? He was charitable to a fault. He was a churchgoer. It's it seems so he was a saint? You know what I'm saying?
I do, but even today when you go through the obituaries, I don't know if you ever read obituaries, but...
Just for fun.
If you do, They never say, this person was an asshole. You know what I mean? They always say nice things about dead people in the paper.
I don't want you to lie about me.
Oh, no.
I want you.
Oh, no. Don't.
I want you.
Don't.
Yeah, no, I want you to be completely honest.
No,
Some
you don't.
days, yes.
On a good day or a bad day?
Both, all days.
No, absolutely
Keep it
not.
real.
Well,
my God.
I'm not writing your obituary.
What do you think of me that would be so terrible that you can't put it in print? Like, oh my God.
This is a discussion for another time. But you know what I'm saying?
Detours.
They always say nice things about the dead, even today. So That's not surprising. He made his living as a seed grower.
What is a seed grower? I did this research.
Then why don't you tell us?
No. I'm just telling you, I was prepared.
Thank you, Jill. A seed grower in the 1880s is or was a farmer, or it could be a farmer that was in charge of like a huge commercial operation or a seed company who grows, harvests, and distributes seeds to other farmers, other growers, other home gardeners, etc. So basically, they make and distribute seeds.
Cool.
I don't know. That sounds kind of fun.
It sounds like a good gig. I think that, you can make money at it. But why would his nephew be insinuating that he's a swindler or want that money back? Like what's the whole, like what's his reputation around town? He's a churchgoer. Everyone loves him, generous to a fault. So why would his nephew have such a poor reaction to him?
Okay. So here's the thing. Thomas was not just a seed grower. After the Civil War, our guy Tom acted as a claims agent and advertised himself as such.
What is that?
Okay, a claim agent was a person who assisted people in filing claims against the federal government for things like military pensions, bounties, back pay, compensation for lost property. You get the deal. Yeah. They emerged to help a large number of veterans, widows, and other people navigate the complex government bureaucracy to secure benefits through the government.
Okay, that's cool.
Maybe. So, according to newspapers of the day, during and after the Civil War, Eastern Tennessee was preyed upon by mostly Union sympathizers, and a stunning number of claims were accumulated against the government.
I love how they're like, those Union sympathizers really were kind of out there preying upon our little Southern peeps.
And as a consequence of this, Thomas had a spectacular list of claims and the opportunity to make a tremendous pile of money.
Hells yeah.
So per the old-timey newspaper, quote, for a while things went smoothly, but the vast income he was receiving from a legitimate business with which he was perfectly familiar suggested and occasioned in him a desire for a means by which even greater wealth could be reached through illegitimate transactions.
OMG, what did he do? What does it mean? Tell me everything.
Well, the temptation that they're talking about began with him filing a series of fraudulent claims against the government. And eventually, he got as much as $25,000 out of the treasury.
That's a shit ton of money.
That is a shit ton of money. That's nearly $800,000 in today's money in filing bogus claims against the government.
That can't be legal. Something must be done.
Wow. It was so easy to be a crook back then.
I know. Nowadays, it's so hard. I mean, honestly.
The good old days. Yeah.
It's like, there's no way I cannot be illegitimate because, like, honestly.
Then, one day, while Thomas was at his office, distracted in thought, he didn't hear footsteps approaching. and a tall, handsome stranger. Really, Jill? Was he a tall, handsome stranger?
That's what the newspaper called him.
Did he? Okay. A tall, handsome stranger stepped up behind him and tapped him on the shoulder and inquired, saying, "Is this Thomas G. Boyd?" Is it, Jill?
Why, it is.
Yes. "Then you are my prisoner. My name is Whitney, and I am a United States detective." And he arrested him on charges of collecting money on fraudulent claims. Dude got caught. And so he was taken into custody. However, he had a lot of cash, so he made bail. Well, actually, it wasn't his cash. It was one of his wealthy uncles who put out bail for him. Put up bail.
That's the language. That's lingo. That's what the kids use on the street. Put up bail.
Well, you would know.
My God, what has gotten into you? Honestly, I'm just sitting here.
I just can't stop today. I just can't stop.
Like relaxing.
I apologize.
No, let the world hear. Everyone's like, Jennifer's so nice. Jennifer, I would love to have Jennifer as a sister.
All right. So, Jill, the community, how did they take it?
They were stunned. Stunned.
Yes.
And believed there must have been a mistake, a misunderstanding. All who knew Thomas would not believe the charges. They believed him to be innocent. And he said, innocent. I am innocent.
Yeah. Plus, he was their mayor. He was their ex-mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he did what many of us would do.
He turned himself in, confessed, and did time like a gentleman.
No, Jill, not that. He actually faked his own death and fled to Canada.
What in the cartoon universe is this nonsense coming from?
Yeah. Before we get back to Tom, I have a question for you, and it's a very important question. No, seriously, don't do that.
Okay.
So you and I commit a crime, and we've got to leave the country fast.
Oh,
Are we going, theoretically, and this is not a psychic prediction, I'm just saying, theoretically, this happened. Are we going to Canada or are we going to Mexico? And before you answer, you have to think about the language, the food, the people, the climate. Where are we going?
First of all, there's a flaw in this premise because even the thought of you committing a crime, you would confess. You would go down to the police station and be like, "We are planning this crime, arrest us." Okay?
I know. I said this was theoretical.
Okay.
But if we had to pick a country, are we going north to Canada or south to Mexico?
This is the thing. Thing is that I can blend better in Canada
Okay.
But
it's true.
I would like to be in Mexico, but I would talk about sore thumb.
What about the food?
Mexico.
Right? Climate?
Mexico.
Yep. Language? We speak English, and most of Canada speaks English, so that would be easier for us.
Yeah, but we can pick up on Spanish. Sí, señorita.
Okay. Taco.
Mi perro está grande
Burrito.
y bonita.
I think we definitely need to go to Mexico for the climate alone. And I know we're not going to blend, but...
I mean, why do we have to commit a crime to go to Mexico? Can't we just go to Mexico?
I was just saying, if we were Boyd, he went to Canada. I think he chose wrong. I think he chose poorly. I think he should have gone to Mexico, where the food is delicious. No offense, Canadians.
Yum.
I don't even know what you guys eat up there. But the food in Mexico is delicious. The climate is better. I can't even... Yeah. Anyway, I went to Canada in July, and I needed a sweater. Okay? A sweater.
I just want to say that why do we have only those two options?
Good point. All right, let's keep going.
We can travel down South America. We can go to Brazil, Argentina.
All right. Okay, we'll look into it more. Okay, so here's what happened.
So he goes to Canada.
He does.
And the reason why he goes to Canada.
Tell me why.
It's because he faked his own death.
We know that.
The thing is
Yes.
that when you escape and jump bail, they call it jumping bail.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah, that's what word down the street is.
I'm learning so much lingo today.
The person that puts up the bail doesn't get the money back.
Oh,
and so he had to fake his own death because he wasn't going to go back to jail. And he didn't want his uncle to be out because he was like, that's a dick move, bro. You know what I mean? So he was just like, I have to fake my own death.
So how did he do that?
Are you asking for a friend?
I'm asking for a friend. Yes. How did he do it?
That's what Dad should have done, Jennifer.
Jill, why do you have to bring up Dad?
If Dad would have done that, he could have stayed with us. He could have stayed with us, Jennifer. Why? Dad, why didn't you do that? Okay.
This episode is a train wreck. Okay. So
I'm
what did he do?
I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying the insults flying at me.
Hey, seriously though, what did he do to fake his own death? Like, how do you do that?
You tell me. It's in the outline. I did it for you.
I'm reading. I keep reading this, and it doesn't make sense. First of all, I can't say the 5th of September if I don't have a year. So word was sent to the prosecution. So there's a court. Word was sent to court from Sweetwater.
Prosecutor. Yeah. They're like, hey, you're the guy that's going to be on trial. He's gone. He's dead. He's been murdered. The previous Friday on Laurel
Branch near the North Carolina
state line by Ku Klux Klan members.
That makes no kind of sense.
That's what so the prosecutor is just in his prosecutor's office. He's just chilling. And then there was a telegram. And the telegram's like, the guy, Boyd, that you are going to prosecute that's out on bail, he dead. He got dead by the Klan.
Doesn't make sense, but okay. And yeah, I'm not the only one who's in disbelief because people also at the time hesitated to accept this as truth. And their disbelief fueled relentless and unyielding investigations. Of course it did. So now people are investigating. What they uncovered was actually super, super chilling. And if you are a sensitive listener, you might want to fast forward a little bit because what they uncovered was there was a body, the body of a grotesquely burned, beyond recognition man. And whispers spread among the few who dared to believe it was Boyd. So people started talking about a sinister murder plot. Like, how did this happen? Who burned up Boyd? And there's so many unanswered questions.
But yes, we only have ashes. Only ashes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
You said he faked his own death.
Yeah, that's what you put in the outline.
Bring me back there. Get me there.
Remember the tall, dark, and handsome U.S. detective Whitney?
Did I say dark? You honestly have a type.
Well,
Whitney honestly have a type, James Beckworth's lover.
Whitney shows up again in our outline, and this time he takes up the case again because he did not believe that Thomas was murdered, not for a second. He left no stone unturned investigating. He was like a dog with a bone. And you know what he found? Well, he uncovered a very grim revelation.
What?
So you know that burned up body?
Mm-hmm. The charred remains?
Mm-hmm. They were actually identified as a Black man by the name of Samuel Bowles, who had recently passed away in Sweetwater.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah. Allegedly, Boyd took Samuel Bowles' corpse from the church, not far away from where the remains were discovered. And driven by suspicion and some excellent detective work by the tall, dark, and handsome Whitney, he unearthed Bowles' grave, and the grave was empty. Yeah.
So to fake your own death, you need a body.
You need a body. Step 1, get a body. And step 2, apparently burn it till just about beyond recognition, but not really, because in 1882, they're able to like figure out it's not you. Actually, 1871.
Well, you need more than one body. because you have to put another body into the old body's casket, right?
Okay, yeah.
Like you need a lot of bodies to do this.
Apparently it takes a lot of bodies.
Because the only reason they knew it was Bulls.
Yeah.
It was Bulls is because his grave was empty.
Right.
And I'm sure it was like, oh gosh, I just think this is such a bad
plus he had just died. He had just died. So they're like, hey, did you have anybody just die? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, who? They're like, Samuel Bowles. And he's like, show me his grave. And he digs him up. He's not there. So Thomas indeed jumped bail, fled the country, and the community was even more shocked. Surely Thomas could not have done this alone. So suspicion fell on his nephew and his son, but there was no evidence that anyone else helped him or participated in his crime and the cover-up. So no one else was ever arrested.
I wonder what nephew it was. I wonder if it was Joseph.
I wonder if it was Joseph. Good question.
I wonder too.
Yeah, a question you probably should have answered.
You can't answer all these questions, Jennifer.
Okay.
How am I going to answer? How am I going to answer what nephew? Who old-timey newspaper am I going to call to be like, you said nephew. What nephew?
So another question remained. Where was Thomas Boyd? If not dead, then where was he?
So the hunt began.
The man elected to be the sleuth hound in this investigation was a man named Louis Lenore. What did he look like, Joe? Was he tall, dark, and handsome?
I want to know why Whitney, like, was he tired? Was he over the situation? He was like, you guys, someone take over because I'm done.
That's a great question. Do we have the answer to that question, Jill?
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do. Okay.
He was on a different assignment.
Are you serious? I thought it was going to be something dramatic.
No.
He was just busy that day?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the first one to Chattanooga, and they're from parties who knew Thomas Boyd. Do you hear what I'm saying?
First one to Chattanooga.
Uh-huh.
Because, okay, so this is the thing. Lewis is on his track. And the first place that he goes is to Chattanooga. And from the parties who knew Boyd, learned that he had gone to Nashville from Chattanooga. So this guy, Lewis, he is like questioning people. He's like, I know you know this guy. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know. And they're like, dude, he went up to Nashville. And then he got a hold of friends that traveled with Thomas up to Nashville. And they tipped Lewis off and said that Thomas was headed to St. Louis. Okay.
Yeah.
So then after that, he turned and went directly east to Cleveland, apparently.
Cleveland, Ohio.
And Lewis, like a dog with a bone, just like Whitney, he was not given up. He went to Cleveland. Then he followed him to Buffalo. Then he followed him to Toronto, to Montreal. And all the time, he was right on his coattails.
Wow. He was really on the run.
I mean, so many stops. He could have just went straight to Montreal.
He was probably trying to shake the law. In Montreal, Lenore finally found Thomas and, at gunpoint, took him into custody and brought him back to Tennessee to stand trial for his crimes.
After all that traveling.
That running around. So he goes to trial.
Yes. Tell me about the trial.
1881, there's a large crowd gathered in the federal courtroom, eager to witness the presentation of an affidavit requesting the continuance of cases pending against Thomas G. Boyd. Boyd, whose name had become synonymous with scandal and controversy in the public eye, was the center of attention. He appeared to be in good spirits. Really. He appeared to be in good spirits, greeting acquaintances warmly as he made his way through the audience to the clerk's desk where he filed his affidavit for continuance. Okay, so the judge took up the lengthy affidavit, which cited, among other reasons, the absence of a key witness and the evidence Boyd expected to present through their testimony. Boyd detailed his pursuit by government officials, describing how, in a moment of despair and without consulting his legal counsel, he had indeed attempted to flee. No shit.
See, he's honest.
He recounted
He's like, you got me, fair and square.
He recounted the circumstances of his arrest and his, quote, voluntary return to Tennessee. Voluntary?
At
Come
gunpoint.
on. Yeah. Right. So Boyd also expressed grievances about prejudicial newspaper articles in the Knoxville press, which he claimed had poisoned the public's opinion against him. He spoke bitterly of the deplorable conditions at the Knoxville jail, describing the cells as loathsome. I don't know, but are jail cells supposed to be comfortable, Jill?
I mean, you don't want them to be, like, nasty.
Okay.
Like, they should be unfriendly, but not uncleanly.
Ooh, you just did a rhyme.
Mm-hmm. I should run for office on that.
Yeah. Furthermore, he alleged the existence of a dangerous conspiracy aimed at securing his conviction through witness intimidation and other underhanded tactics. So he's like, yeah, I'm shady, but you all are shady too. Like, that was his defense. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But how about you? How about you guys?
That's right. Look in the mirror, man. As the trial continued, the prosecution's counsel really went after Thomas and was shit-talking the whole time about the kind of man he was and his character. And the prosecution called a couple witnesses that I think are notable. Would you like to hear about them?
I just find them to be hysterical, some of these.
So the prosecution called Martha J. Upton, widow of Frank Upton. Frank was a deceased federal soldier. She testified that she only had 4 children. However, Thomas fraudulently filled out a claim application for 6 children. Martha wasn't able to read or write, and she accepted the application because she couldn't read it and was completely ignorant to its contents. But Thomas pocketed the money for the additional fictitious children and a little more, which gave Martha less than the full amount for her actual 4 children.
That is shitty.
That's really shady because it's like he's kind of helping, but he's also swindling too.
Mm-hmm.
Because she couldn't read or write.
Right.
So he helped her get something.
And I'm sure he approached her, right?
I'm sure he did.
It's not like she's writing, like, she's reading the newspaper. No,
right.
She can't read. So he's probably like, hey, didn't your husband die?
Right, exactly. I can get you money. Yeah, 100%. And he was charming and, like, friendly and everything.
People liked him.
So there was another guy named Samuel Elliott who was called to the stand. He testified that he lived in Monroe County and had lived there for about 22 years. He was more than positive that he did not die in the fall of 1863, as had been alleged by Thomas in his application for a pension for his minor children.
But are you sure? Are you positive?
Samuel Elliott was cross-examined by Thomas's lawyer, and he testified that he knew no other Sam Elliott in the county, and he knew of no other Sam Elliott in Georgia who had died in the federal army. Okay. You know, I really think that this kind of stuff still happens in Chicago.
Oh, in Chicago?
Well, Chicago is like notorious for like dead people voting. You know what I mean? Like, it is a Chicago. Why are you looking at me like that? It is a Chicago thing.
Nobody.
What? Why are you growling?
Because that's a very political triggering statement, and no one in Chicago is voting that is dead. But
that is true. No one in Chicago is voting that is dead. But there's a long criminal political history in the city of Chicago. That's all I'm saying. And this is not unheard of.
I will agree to that statement.
That's all I'm saying.
Agree to that.
Like, I think they learn from us is all I'm saying. I think they learn from us. It's possible.
Okay.
Let's continue. Yeah, we can go on and on. There were similar witnesses that testified, but I think that you've painted a pretty good picture, Jill, of the type of crimes he was committing and
I just love that Samuel Elliott was 100% positive. He's like, I know I didn't die. I know I didn't die.
He sounds like a hoot. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the verdict, Jill?
Tell me.
Thomas G. Boyd of Sweetwater, Tennessee, was convicted of defrauding the government out of large sums of money, and he was sent to the penitentiary at Nashville for a 5-year term, and he was fined $5,000.
That's not enough.
And according to the newspaper, he did indeed spend all 5 years in prison. Yeah, so he was in prison for about 5 years in the 1870s. Mm-hmm.
Great. So then he gets out. How was life on the outside?
Well, he toured the country as a speaker.
As a motivational speaker?
I guess.
Like, even you can do it. If there's a will, there is a way for you to make money.
There's actually advertisements in the paper promoting him on his speaking tour. Wow.
I mean, he has chutzpah.
Wow. Thomas G. Boyd, late of the Nashville Penitentiary for offenses committed against the United States Revenue Department, has started out on a lecturing tour. Subject, the Tennessee Penitentiary and its mode of government. He lectured at Madisonville last Monday night. This is from March 26, 1877. Wow. I thought his tour was going to be like how to swindle the government.
That's what I thought it was too.
Yeah, no, it's something much more boring.
Yeah, he's talking about how bad the prison was and wah, 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 wah.
Yeah, how bad it is in penitentiary and the governing of the penitentiary. I can't think of anything more boring.
Dude, if you don't want to leave a Yelp review for the penitentiary, you don't do the crimes. Just saying. You can't blame the government like, it could have been so much better in there. It's like, how about you just avoid being in there? How about that?
Okay, so Jill, who is our voiceless?
I disagree with you. When I brought you this story, I had a clear voiceless, and you disagreed with me. So I think the voiceless is that poor Samuel Bowles.
Because I thought it was Thomas.
Yeah.
I actually have a list of people who I think it is.
Okay.
Okay, number one. All right, why don't you tell me about poor Samuel Bowles first? Why do you think he deserves a voice?
His body was disrespected and burnt.
Yeah, that's pretty low.
That's pretty
bad.
Low.
At least he didn't feel it. Like, at least they didn't kill him. He was already dead.
Okay, someone's glass is half full.
I also feel for the KKK because for once they didn't do it.
Oh, my God.
The KKK didn't do it. You don't think they deserve a voice?
No, I actually really don't. I'm going to take a hard pass on that one.
But the KKK did not do it. I'm just going out on a limb to say this one time.
But you know what? They can give it up to the purgatory because they probably got away with other ones. You know what I'm saying?
This one time, Jill. Okay. Thomas, here's what I have to say about him. Thomas is one of a series of voices that have been coming out to us who are guilty but still want a voice. They like the attention.
He does seem like he's
on the coattails of, what's her name?
Two Women, Two Fates.
Yes, Two Women, Two Fates. And the story we're going to tell in a couple weeks as well.
Don't ruin it.
I'm not ruining it. I'm just saying.
You're ruining it.
Like, you know how spirit will sometimes be like, and me too. Like, me too.
And
like,
it's
piggybacking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think he is coming through. Now, do I think he deserves a voice? No, but he does seem to be Eula. Her name was Eula Thompson.
Wow, look at you pull that out of your butt. You know how long ago we recorded that? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it took me like 5 minutes, but yeah. And, you know, other ones, they're people who did wrong, and yet they liked the publicity. Like this guy, Thomas, he goes into court and he's in a good mood. What?
Yeah, he's greeting people.
Yes.
He's like shaking hands. Like it reminds me.
It's like he's still
the mayor. If we're going to bring Chicago into this at all, that can be like Al Capone going into court, shaking hands. People are there cheering him on.
Like it's a big carnival or something, you know? Like this is the
Mm-hmm.
same energy I get from this guy. So I do think he's coming through for a voice. I think he came to us because he saw the other type of people who are coming through. And for some reason, that energy attracts like energy. It happens all the time.
We should do for detours a narcissist test to see like where you fall on the spectrum of narcissism.
Oh,
because
will you write that?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay.
Because I feel like what they all have in common is they're like real severe narcissists.
Mm. Hey, help me get through these hits because I don't understand them all. Will you help me with this?
Sure.
Okay. When I was picking up on soldiers walking through the area, what does that have to do with anything?
You're right.
Okay. We'll leave it in. No, you know what, Jill? I think I know why. Because those are the people he preyed on. The survivors, the soldiers and the widows and the families of the soldiers. Okay, it just came to me.
Yep.
Mining. Okay. Help me. Okay. Mining and the sea underground.
I did this so long ago. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, so the sea underground and the mining town.
Yeah.
Because they were mining for gunpowder.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what about the tall, good-looking, I'm just kidding, tall white man? Why did I say tall? A white
Because you have Whitney on your mind.
I do. The white man who was taking advantage of the natives for gain, that trickery.
That trickery, that feeling. He was taking advantage of people that couldn't read or write to get these fraudulent claims through and then pocketing the money.
I wonder if he also was he involved at all with native peoples?
I don't know. That's not documented.
I wouldn't be surprised because they were still around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. But that trickery, that idea of someone being kind of ignorant to the law,
right?
Which the Native Americans were, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Shot in the chest. This kind of impresses me. I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm kind of super psychic right now. I can't even help it.
Super psychic sister.
Super psychic
You're
sister.
You were like, oh my God, I feel like I got shot. And you I felt it. I felt it. I was like, oh my God, I can see it right now. I can
still feel it. I can't. Mm-hmm. I don't want to feel it. Okay. The smell of trash burning.
I mean,
it stinks when like, if I accidentally singe the hair on my arm, the smell is so bad.
I don't even want to. I mean, not purposefully,
of course.
But like, if I'm getting a pizza out of the oven,
yes,
that's happened before. Yeah,
or
that's bad.
Once I was trying to light the burner on my old stove, and I had the gas turned up, and I underestimated how much gas had been shooting out, and I went and I lit it with a match, and I burned my eyelashes off.
Holy fuck! Do you even know how lucky you are?
Yes, very dramatic.
Remind me to tell you a story about how me and your sisters almost blew up the Forest Park house.
Okay.
That'll be on Detours too.
This sounds like a good one. Okay. Blew up.
Almost.
House. Almost. Carrot.
Almost.
Got it. Okay. And, War of 1812 veterans mad and disappointed.
Some of the claims he put through were for veterans of the War of 1812.
That's really impressive, Jill, that they were coming through as disappointed. Oh, I forgot to mention the Bible, about people who pick and choose parts of the Bible to follow.
He's a hypocrite.
Okay, totally valid. Yeah, that's a psychic hit. All right. We were reaching. It's the end of the Chattanooga series.
This was the hardest. We have one more Chattanooga story, but this was the hardest outline to put through. God. This outline was not my friend. I was so surprised when you said you liked it, because I was like, really?
Well, because it wasn't so heavy that we couldn't be silly, so we just took the advantage of being silly. I hope it's listenable.
Brian, do some magic here, Brian.
Do some magic, Brian. Take out all the parts that we sound like idiots.
Oh my God.
It'll be 10 minutes long.
It's going to be an extra charge for that. He's going to be like, over idiot charge, $10 times 5.
Oh my God. Okay. Do the closing.
I'm going to ask people, can you guys please reach out to me at commonmystics@gmail.com for readings? I've been really promoting Jennifer, and she's getting a lot of people emailing her, and now I feel really left out. So if you can email me for a reading, I would really like it.
Also, along that same vein, I will be doing another class after the first of the year on psychic development. If you want to know if you would be a good fit, reach out to me at commonmystics@gmail.com. I can send you a couple self-assessments, and we can go over your results at a complimentary Zoom session to see where you fall and if you could use some psychic development. We are doing classes. We are also doing one-on-one coaching if that works better for you.
Well, thank you, Jennifer, for that. Also, I want to remind you guys that we will be reading your reviews that you put on Apple on air and thanking you personally. So come up with something funny for us to read because we love hearing from you, and your feedback is what keeps us going. Like literally, there's no other
reinforcer.
Honestly, please. And don't forget that we have a monthly Tier 4 call with our patrons that we love to do, and we would love for you to join. $25 a month, cancel anytime, but you don't want to cancel once you start because you love us.
Right. There's also tiers 3 at $10 a month, tier 2 at $5 a month, or just support us for $3 a month. $3.
Yeah. Less than a cup of coffee.
Yeah, helps us keep the lights on.
Literally, it's the only thing that pays for us doing this
to keep going
because it cost us money.
This. Yeah.
It's
anyway,
really
love you
right
all.
Now.
Love you all. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, reach out. We'd love to hear from you. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
This has been a Common Mystics Media production. Editing done by Yokai Audio, Kalamazoo,